Well, that can be good. I did spray a bunch of shit down in there to try and clean it, because it had like piss and shit down there. I think that'll just burn off and be good. So I took the intake off. This is part of the coolant system. See all that water pump RTV, and then it's all wet down in there. You can't see it really good through the phone. There's a puddle down there. You see how thick that RTV is on there. Another interesting little thing is there's RTV all around the intake. So the intake must be leaking. I think this whole swan neck bullshit to this radiator needs to be replaced. I mean, it is just caked. All right, little update on the coolant system. So this was leaking. It's like a little adapter that goes into the pump and into the oil cooler. It was plastic. I replaced it with aluminum. I didn't know if those gaskets on both of these sides here going into the block were leaking, so I siliconed the out of those. This stupid actual plug right here was leaking like a son of a bitch too. I got a metal replacement for that plastic piece. And then this deal goes in those two holes. Sits a little something like that, and then those two connect to it, and then up top there's another hose that connects to that. Jesus. Okay, so first things first, this had to be replaced because the float mechanism that told me where my coolant level was broken, so the whole thing had to be replaced. This hose right here was leaking here. This connector was leaking where it went into there. This connector broke in there. This unit here goes all up underneath there and was visibly broken at the base. Replaced it. When I put it back together, the sucker was leaking right here and right here, so I put fucking sealant shit on that. Don't know why the fuck that was leaking, but that's not supposed to fucking leak. So, this guy right here. This goes into the water pump that was visibly leaking, so that's been replaced and modified back into the current system. And then this fucker was leaking right here once I put it back together, so that's gooped. So in the coolant pump itself, there's a fucking piece that goes into the coolant pump and goes into the oil cooler underneath here. That motherfucker had to be replaced and was visibly broken. Now, my next concern, I've replaced all that and put all that together, right? My next concern is this horse shit right here. This, I had to disconnect right here. And that might be, I'm worried that might leak next because I fucking touched it. So far, everything I've touched has leaked after I touched it. I put sealant in there to try and seal that bit. All right, so this is another culprit that I'm worried about. This goes out of the thermostat housing and then drops into a weird fucking T. I have not replaced this yet. I hope that's not leaking. Where it connects into that, as you can tell, is fucking close to be leaking soon. Once that rust hits those seals, it's done. So yeah. Fun. Yeah, I forgot to add this too. This quirky little piece of shit. So you see the throttle body? Underneath here, coolant line goes through, back out, coolant line goes underneath there. Both of those fucking nipples were leaking. Like, Jesus Christ.